Welcome to ETH Daily, a daily briefing on the latest in Ethereum. Here's your latest for Wednesday, August 6, 2025. The US versus Storm trial ends with a money transmitting business conviction. Aave releases the V3 developer toolkit. Pendle launches a funding rate trading protocol, and Cosmos Health announces its $300 million ETH reserve strategy. All this and more starts right now. In the US versus Storm trial, the jury convicted Roman Storm of conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business, a charge that carries a maximum sentence of 5 years. The jury was unable to reach a verdict on the charges of conspiracy to commit money laundering and conspiracy to violate sanctions, leaving possible re-prosecution by the US government. Roman Storm is a developer who helped write open source code for the Tornado Cash privacy tool. Neeraj Agrawal, director of communications at CoinCenter, noted that the charge contradicts FinCEN's own guidance. He called the outcome a significant setback for developers of non-custodial software, such as those building DeFi applications. Prosecutors requested that Storm be taken into custody ahead of sentencing, but Judge Catherine Fela denied the request, referencing that Storm has a case for appeal. Aave launched the Aave V3 Developer Toolkit, a new suite that includes an SDK, React hooks, and an API. The toolkit enables developers to integrate Aave markets and deploy vaults into their applications. Apps can now connect to lending pools based on specific risk profiles and offer their users the ability to earn yield or borrow against their assets. MetaMask recently integrated Aave to bring DeFi yield directly into its mobile wallet, giving its 100 million users access to Aave yield opportunities without having to leave the app. Aave is the largest DeFi protocol with over $60 billion in TVL. Pendle Finance, a tokenized yield protocol, launched Boros, a new platform for trading funding rates. Now live on Arbitrum One, users can trade Bitcoin or Ether funding rates on Boros. Similar to Pendle's yield tokens, users can speculate on or hedge funding rate yields using yield units. Each yield unit represents the funding yield of 1 unit of the collateral asset until maturity. Liquidity providers can also earn through Boros Vaults, which earns yield from Pendle incentives, swap fees, and APR movements. At launch, Boros has a $10 million open interest cap per market and a 1.2x leverage limit. In the future, Boros plans to expand to traditional assets, including bonds and equities. And lastly, Cosmos Health Inc., a publicly traded company available on the NASDAQ, announced a $300 million financing facility to launch its strategic Ethereum Treasury Reserve. Following in the footsteps of companies like BitMine, SharpLink Gaming, BTCS Inc., and BitDigital, Cosmos Health plans to accumulate ETH as part of a broader strategy to boost ETH per share and enhance long-term shareholder value. The company will stake its ETH through crypto custodian BitGo. A total of 3 million ETH, valued at over $11 billion, is now held in strategic ETH reserves. In other news, Ethereum Layer 1 hits an all-time high in daily transaction count, processing over 1.7 million transactions for August 5th. Hyperlane Warp Routes 2.0 go live on Unichain, and Lodestar releases version 1.33.0 of its client. This has been a roundup of today's top news stories in Ethereum. You can support this podcast by subscribing and following us at ETH Daily. Also subscribe to our newsletter at ethdaily.io.